Hello and welcome to another episode of our Blended Journey podcast. My name is Tarris Troy Horton.
And I'm Tammy Siri Horton, and Carl Horton is here as well.
Good dog. Well, season 3, episode 1 on parental alienation was a very good episode. I got a lot of, probably over 10,000 views and maybe 50 to 100,000 impressions on that. So people were watching it, and we want to say thank you for the
Thank you very much.
new subscribers and all the people that commented and all that. So we're on to episode number 2, which we'll be discussing.
2.
Yeah, episode number 2. This is season 3, episode 2.
Well, I jumped in line on our outline then.
That's all right. It's okay.
We're talking about today past marriages and how we're getting it right this time, what we refuse to repeat, and how we're doing.
In our Blended Journey podcast, I feel like one of our goals is to be relatable to people, and I think we've done a really good job of doing that. And some reality to us and many others like us, this isn't our first marriage.
No.
It isn't her second marriage, and it isn't my third. So we've been married before, but this episode we're going to talk about, some things that I'm going to be open and honest about some things that I know that we're going to discuss things then and things now. So that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. And kind of fill in a recap of where we've been, what we've been doing. We did our last podcast in Florida. That was a great time with our friends. We met our Texas family in there. And then we got kind of busy, and I'm going to steal Amy's line. Life has been lifing, right? So we got back from Florida and jumped right into that work week. And then we had your birthday and Dad's birthday, and we had a big Father's Day birthday celebration. So that was really, really cool, right?
Yep. I want people to see your beautiful self.
Oh, I always cover up with pillows or put them in my lap, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah.
And how the Father's Day celebration went, I think was a really cool experience. My dad's birthday was actually on Father's Day this year, and he requested, instead of going to Jeff Ruby's this year, he wanted to cook out at the house. So we did a big blended family Carl, a big blended family cookout, and it's been really, really touching and really neat to see you and Dad's relationship progress and thrive, and that's been beautiful to watch. And then the week after, which was this past weekend, we had your mom's celebration
of life. So yeah, we were down in Elizabethtown and was with all my family and church family, and we kind of we were in Freeman Lake Park, and we had church in the park. That's what it seemed like. We had church in the park. But that's what my mom would want, and that she wouldn't want it any other way. So that's what we've been doing, and coming up things that we don't have any travel plans anytime soon, but we've got some.
We don't, but we were just looking at dinner about going to Michigan.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And we might have some, not so much travel plans, but the other thing that we've been doing is moving our kids.
Yeah.
Our kids, Bailey and Drew, bought a new house a little bit further away. And thinking about, or we're planning on renting a pontoon down at Williamstown Lake and getting all the kids together one weekend in September and doing that. So it's a little bit kind of traveling, right?
That's cool.
Yeah. Anything else?
I can think of on the announcement type tip.
Like anyone cares but announcements, right?
Yeah.
So
I think people generally keep up with what we got going on. I mean, people watch our stories and people watch, that's just the general nature of, if we're putting ourselves out there doing a podcast, people are going to be curious about things that we got going on. Mm-hmm. So that's why we're sharing. Hope you enjoy.
Yeah, Sunday was a neat cultural difference experience, I think, and seeing the whole Horton family, as many that could, get together, and having, you come from a religious background, I am not religious, and kind of, watching that blend, and it was a beautiful, beautiful experience. And, one thing that I'm kicking myself for is when your sister wanted me to speak and I declined. I really wish I would have spoke, because Mama Horton meant the world to me in just the few years that I knew her. She just showed up with so much unconditional love, and still have her voicemails checking on us and everything. And she meant so much to me in such a short time that I went out and got her signature.
Yeah, we've got our
signature Horton. I asked Mama to do her signature prior to her passing, and she meant the world to me. She was it was a blessing to get to know her and your dad before they passed.
I'm glad that they got to see in the transition to what we're talking about. They got to see me for the first time healthy, sober, in a marriage that is healthy, and they saw the way that your family and you kicked in when their lives were, they're going to the end of their lives, making meals and taking them down there. So they genuinely, you guys had a very good relationship going, and they got to see me in a healthy relationship before they passed. So I mean, that's something that really laid heavy on my heart, that gratitude that my mom got to see me sober. My dad, I'm sure he didn't care, but my mom got to see me at the end, got to see me sober for her last years of her life, and it's important.
It was a beautiful experience on Sunday.
Yeah,
I really
nice.
loved it. So let's jump right in.
Right on. Let's do it.
Let's talk about what baggage from our past relationships do you feel that we. I'm going to preface this. We're doing this podcast, our Blended Journey podcast, obviously, and we are not sitting here saying our relationship is perfect at all. We are doing our best. This is my first healthy relationship. This is your first healthy relationship, correct? And so we're learning this journey together. Even though I'm a therapist, this is not any type of marital advice. This is just how we're doing our marriage.
If you want marital advice, you have to hit her up and pay for it.
Absolutely,
Honestly.
absolutely.
For real, that's just the real. So what's the first?
What baggage from our previous relationships do you feel that you brought into this marriage?
Baggage from our previous relationships that I brought into this relationship? Oh man, I have kids, and
kids aren't baggage.
Well, what do you mean? Not bagging like that. I'm saying, but like for some people, like I'm being real. I have kids, and some people who don't have kids would look at that as being baggage. So that's like what things am I bringing to the table that cause see, uh, different having to deal with different other women that have had decision making in our lives. That's baggage. I believe that's baggage. Where like we have to check with one of the children's mom before we do something or something like that. I believe that's some baggage. Like what other thing? I mean, because now that when I got sober and we got together, I mean, I don't like the baggage. I don't know. I did a lot of soul searching before we got together, and I thought that I have presented myself as a healthy partner ready to grow in a relationship. So like the alcohol abuse that I had in past relationships, I didn't bring into this relationship. The financial irresponsibility to where like I just wasn't taking care of responsibilities, I didn't bring into this relationship. Putting my friends and stuff over. I mean, there's so much baggage I didn't bring in this relationship that I can't think of the baggage that I did bring in this relationship.
Okay, let me ask it a different way. What fears did you bring into this relationship?
Okay, what fears did I bring in this relationship? The only fear that I could say that I brought in this relationship, because I was pretty open, like I said, is the fear to not be able to create. And I've been pretty open and upfront with you from the beginning. Like I'm a better human when I'm creating. I'm a better person when I'm making mixtapes. I'm a better person when I'm editing videos. I'm a better person whenever I got all this stuff going on in my head, if I'm able to get it out. And like in past relationships, I've been discouraged in creating. I've never created in a place of love. Like it's always been I'm writing this song because I hate this chick, and I'm writing this song because I'm mad about this, or I'm like I've never had an opportunity to be in a space of love and create in a relationship the way that I need to. When I first got sober, I started creating again, and I felt so much better. And it was like such a huge release because you guys out there, or people out there who have creative juices in your body and you suppress them for whatever reason. I'm sorry you're doing that, because I was doing the same thing for a long time, and whenever I was able to get those out, it was free. So I was very cautious and fearful of that thing whenever we started dating. And I was honest when I said, "Hey, this is something that's near to me." I was very cautious when I first put the studio in the basement at the Sheridan house because I didn't want to be too loud, and then it become something that you discouraged me about making music because I've had that in the past. Tell me my dreams are dumb. Why am I doing this? Not understanding it's a part of me. So that's the fear that I brought into this relationship, is the fear that you were going to try to stifle my creativity. What about you? What was the fear that you brought in this relationship?
I think the baggage, I wouldn't say I brought baggage into this relationship. When I made the conscious decision to date with a purpose, and I'm a little different with manifestations and the relationship sun that I had done. I don't feel like I brought, well, I guess you can consider it baggage. I think even though all the years of therapy that I've gone under, and I still go to therapy every week, my therapist is amazing, is being, the abusive childhood that I had, and then being in domestic violence as an adult kind of I feel like the first couple years of our marriage I really stayed in that fight or flight, waiting for something to go wrong. I think that was fear, and I wouldn't call it baggage because it was something my body did. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean it does make sense in the first few years of a relationship. Anybody who doesn't think that things could possibly go wrong is not being realistic with themselves, in my opinion. Like you should be or like kind of, if you're thinking, "Oh, this person is great from day one," I think that's the mistakes that I made in my past relationships, and thinking that, you know, they'll change. The first 2 weeks were great, but then everything else starts to go to crap. But you're like, "Oh, those first 2 weeks were great. I believe that they can be that person," and still trying to chase that.
Right.
Like,
and then you end up losing yourself in chasing that, right? If I forgive this infidelity, they won't do it again, and then they do it again. Or if I, dismiss this bruise, and they promise never to do it again, right? And so that fear of waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
I think I brought that in here. What still catches you off guard about our marriage? Anything catch you still off guard about our marriage?
Oh yeah. I mean, I get caught off guard lots of times of like the life that we've created. The life, the health, the life that we created. I often look at you and I'm like, wow, that's my wife. Because I find you attractive. I think you're beautiful. To me, the most beautiful, and I'm like, that's my wife. I find that that kind of catches me off guard, and just like, for the first time, I've got someone who will follow my lead and let me lead when they follow. No.
I have one.
Follow my lead and let me follow when they lead. Like,
right.
I'm like, whenever I'm leading in situations in our relationship, you follow and you allow me to lead, and you give me the space to lead, and you encourage me to lead, and you uplift me to lead. And aspects in our relationship where you're the leader of our family, I give you the space to lead. I give you, put you up to where you can lead the best in those and make situations better. That's what I meant by that.
Respect. You know what still catches me off guard?
What's that?
How doting you are.
How what?
Doting? Is doting the right word?
Doting?
Doting. Yeah.
How I dote on you?
Yeah. Which we're supposed to do. That's a healthy marriage. But sometimes it still catches me off guard, almost like that pinch yourself, is this real?
Yeah.
Type, when I look at our lives, and I look at our kids, and I look at the 7 kids, and how we're all getting acclimated, and the friendships that have come, Bailey Christian relationship, Andrew Christian relationship. I know some of the other kids are away. But just seeing that, sometimes it's like a good overwhelming, like a happy overwhelming. I think that's
sometimes I get taken back that I know that I'm not in this alone anymore, and I don't have to be in survival mode anymore. It's like that kind of like you said, kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like now being in out of survival mode for so long, I'm like I don't see myself going back, and I want to protect everything moving forward so we don't ever have to go back. So those are things that catches me off guard.
What do we refuse to repeat?
What do I refuse to repeat?
I can go first.
Okay.
I refuse. How am I going to say this? It's going to come out wrong because I can't get the menopause brain. I can't get it. I refuse to stop dating you. I refuse to stop communicating with you. I refuse to threaten with divorce. Those types of things.
I refuse to. I mean, we don't argue like that. We disagree, and we get stuck in places sometimes. But like, I don't know. The things that I'm not bringing into this relationship. Is that the question? What do you not? What do you refuse to bring into the relationship? It's like an unpeaceful household. Like I want to create and be in a part of creating peace. When people, like I've said that often to people visit into this house, I want them to walk in here and feel the love, feel the peace. Whatever issues or whatever drama you got going on in your life, leave it at the door, because that's not the type of, just things like that. I refuse to not allow peace all the way through our house. Carmo, back up.
Carmo. What's easier about this marriage?
What's easier about this marriage? Everything. Communication. I can be myself 100%. So I mean, there's no walking on eggshells, because I can say whatever I want and be myself 100%. Don't have to, have to be cautious about doing anything except farting. So.
What's harder about this relationship?
Where you go? What's easier? What makes it easier? What?
I think communication's easier in this relationship. I think, like I said at the beginning, coming out of that survival mode, it's made it much easier to know that when I come home from work, the house is going to be peaceful, that there's not going to be someone mad at me, there's not going to be expectations on what I'm supposed to do when I get home. Communication, we have fun together. We're together more than we are apart, if you really think about it. And that's great. We spend most of our time together.
Yeah. What's harder about this relationship?
I can't think of anything that's harder.
Harder about this relationship than my previous relationships. That's harder. I can't think of anything.
I don't think trust is harder, forgiveness, vulnerability. I think that's so much easier in this relationship, that I can be 100% vulnerable with you. What are you stuck on?
Just trying to think what's hard in this relationship.
I don't think there's anything.
I'm not thinking. I mean, it's not compared to where we've been from. That's why I'm like compared to the relationships in the youth. For me, speaking personally, from the youth, the alcoholism, the uncooperative partners that I've had, like in relationships, the ones that just no matter what I did, it couldn't have been right. No matter what they did, they couldn't have been right for me. It just. This is easy. This one's not hard. This one's not hard.
Is it? I think it's easier though. I shouldn't have gave you my answer first. Is it harder to be a bonus parent later in life? What do you think?
I guess that would be the hardest part about being about this relationship. Like I've been a bonus parent. We've both been bonus parents before. I've been bonus
to
parents
younger
before.
children.
Yeah, and I enjoyed doing that to adults. I mean, that hadn't been hard either. I mean, I love Bailey. I love Belson. I love my bonus kids. So it's really hadn't been. I guess the hardest part is like, I guess that could be the hardest part is like me having our parenting styles. Let's say our parenting styles are different. That could be the hardest part. But I don't think we don't make a big deal about that. It's not just because our parenting styles are different. Don't make it hard. It's just like it's different how we
Parent. I think there has been some harder being a little bit kids being a little bit older. What makes it harder later in our lives to be later in my life to be a bonus parent, I'll speak for myself and not you, is the kids have those past experiences too.
Yeah.
So some projection and afraid to get close, standoffish, because past relationships obviously haven't worked. And so I think there was some hesitation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the, oh, mom's been married before, or,
Yeah.
And I think for Bailey, I think she was really, from my perception, she was really hard in the beginning because she's seen what I've gone through and it was afraid of me repeating that cycle again.
Yeah, with the wrong person, yeah.
Yeah. You kind of got the lucky. Well, I wouldn't say I've had a bad experience either. He's going to dig through the pillows. Is navigating ex-spouses. You haven't had to do that.
Not for real. Bro. You're not going to get anything out of there. Just beat it.
He has been hiding, I think.
Beat it.
He hid a chew toy in here somewhere, honey.
Well, it's not there, so.
Navigating ex-spouses. You haven't had to do that.
No. Yeah. I haven't had to navigate ex-spouses.
I have with 2. I still haven't met one of them. It hasn't been... I think the hardest part is having your own opinions, right? And then seeing you get hurt in the process has been the hardest part of navigating.
Yeah, but that's...
Hardest part about navigating. Priority to the fun rapid fire.
All right, fun rapid fire.
I have to bring this. So we have fun rapid fire. Who does what first?
Carmo.
Who apologizes first?
I do. Oh, I do. Who apologizes first? You do? You think you do?
No, I think you do.
Yeah.
Who holds grudges longer? You do. You do.
I do.
You do. Who spends more money?
She does.
Oh, Botox and GLPs are expensive. Who packs better?
I pack better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who overthinks?
She overthinks.
Who's more stubborn?
It depends. It depends on what it is. We're both stubborn, but I don't know.
I think Carl's the most stubborn.
Carl was the most stubborn, but I'd say the most stubborn. I have to say you.
I'm the most stubborn. Probably because I overthink more.
Yeah, I mean, but like you don't stay stubborn long. You don't stay stubborn in a stubborn space long. If you can present logical things to you, you're quick to say, okay, you're easy. Your perspective easily. Your logic's easy, so you're not very. Neither am I. Both of us, we're both Gemini, so it's kind of hard for us to be. We both got the same zodiac sign and same kind of personality, so neither of us are really stubborn.
I think I was a little stubborn about feeding the squirrels in that world.
And the shoes, when I try to tell you, take some shoes off and you wear the shirt.
Heels. Who plans more date nights?
Me.
You were going to say me?
Me. I plan more date nights.
Who says I love you first?
I did.
No, who says it?
We both say it all the time.
You're more of a nighttime sayer, I love you. I'm more of the daytime sayer.
Well, we both say it all the time.
Yeah.
We never, and that's something we never have to worry about is we love each other because we tell each other all the time.
Who's more romantic?
Me. I'm more romantic.
You are definitely more romantic. I think some of the best gifts I have gotten so far is when you, I'll take this year for example, when you had our friends and our kids put together that birthday video, and then last year you had the boys do the
Mother's Day.
or not all of the kids, Bailey too, do the Mother's Day. I think he's probably more romantic. I'm the one that buys you silly surprises off of Amazon, like the giant hippo over there, thinking that was romantic. You don't even like it.
Yeah, I like elephants.
They didn't have one, and it was a key holder. It was funny.
Yeah, we use it.
We do use it.
The opposite.
How do we? Obviously, we disagree because we're on different.
I'm a Republican. She's a Democrat.
Yes, and so obviously we disagree about what's even going on in the world, different political differences. What do we do with that disagreements, and how do we stay connected?
It's really like I've said 1,000 times. It ain't real. It's not real. All that stuff that's going on out there in that world. Yeah, it affects us somewhat, but it don't affect us and how we are to love each other and to treat each other and the marriage and the strong foundation that we have. We're going to be married no matter if Trump's president or Biden's president. And I hated Joe Biden. I hated Joe Biden. So, I mean, I didn't hate him like that, but I did.
You didn't like him.
And I went viral for saying F him. When that was the first time I ever got 1 million views on TikTok is by saying F Joe Biden. That was awesome. And
but we also have opposing religious views. So I think one of the things that, like, let's use this weekend as an example of going to the memorial for your mom. I don't believe in the God that you believe in, and so therefore I don't wear crosses. I don't
wear crosses either.
No, but the T-shirts that we wore for the T-shirts that we wore for the family reunion, I am firm in my belief in what I don't believe in and what I do believe in, and I feel that I did it out of respect.
Yeah. I mean, you can do that. I mean, it wasn't anything malicious or anything hurtful.
No.
It was actually my mom's hands, but my mom's actual hands in a praying hand that was superimposed and put on a T-shirt, and then it had my mom used to say some prayer words, but it was really, like it was, but
I would say probably back in my bra burner days, I wouldn't have worn it, right?
Yeah, like I'm not wearing that, but
it's. I think it just highlights the respect that we have for each other, and if I got you a Joe Biden T-shirt, would you wear it?
It depends. It depends on if you want to. If it was a joke, if Bailey put together something for you, or somebody like that, it depends. I would probably. I would. If it was, it depends on if it was for you, or a memorial or something like that. If that was somebody's thing and they love Joe Biden and they wanted me to wear Joe Biden.
It as a joke. You just took off with it. I was just joking.
Because I'm like, I don't like that dude, and I had to think about it because I was saying my first initial was like, I ain't putting on anything that has anything to do with Joe Biden on my body. That's the first thing. That's the first thought. But then I had to think. I had to be empathetic about it. The religious views. I mean, I have my religious views because they're stronger now than they've ever been. Like as far as like my personal relationship, I feel more stronger, and I know that I got to find a church. That's my next step in my journey is I got to find a church home. What that looks like, honestly, in our blended journey, who knows what that looks like? I mean, I don't expect you to go to church with me and sit in there for 4 hours like my church does.
I told you I would.
I know you would.
Out of respect.
I know that you would, but the church that I desire to go to is going to, it lasts all day long. It goes from, and you're welcome anytime. When I find that church home, you're going to be welcome to come there with me at any time. Yeah. And I'll always be praying that our faiths align one day, even if it's on our deathbed, even if it's on my deathbed.
Yeah, you cry.
Like I hope I hope we can align up so we can spend even if you don't believe that way.
Think about the story you told on Sunday.
Yeah.
When Mama died and what Dad said.
Yeah.
Because he died a couple weeks after.
Yeah, a couple weeks after he said, "I'm coming right behind you." Like even my dad didn't go to church, and any of that kind of stuff. But in order for my mom, just like me, I believe that when I die, I have given my life to Christ, to where the same God that my great grandmother, my grandmother, my mother, myself, that's the same God that I believe in, that if when you die, you get to meet back with those people. That's the belief that I have. So I believe when I die, I'm going to see my mom, my dad, every other person who believes the same way that I believe, I'm going to believe there. So even if I go before you or you go before me, I hope that we can, at least on our deathbed, say we want to spend eternity together. That's it's nothing to, that's, if not, you gonna have me out here single mingle up in heaven? You got me out there to go streets of heaven by myself? Man, that's funny.
Oh, I know something else we've agreed to disagree on recently.
What's that?
Carl getting a sibling.
Yeah, we're not getting no dog. We're not getting another dog. I mean, she can get another dog if she wants to, but
I think this past weekend with traveling with Carl and being at the thing all day on Sunday, I can't imagine 2 would have been way too much. 2 dogs would have been
way too much. One's too many. Not one's too many.
Carl's been a pretty easy dog.
Yeah,
he was a really good puppy.
Yeah, I like Carl. He's a good dog.
You like Carl?
Carl, come here.
You love Carl, and
the fireworks messed him up. Happy. This is right after the 4th of July, so the 7th. We're taping this on the 7th of July, 2026, and you have been watching our Blended Journey podcast, brought to you by asktarrishorton.com. And my name is Tarris Troy Horton, one half of our Blended Journey podcast.
And I'm Tammy Siri Horton.
And hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you on episode 3, where we're talking about menopause, and perimenopause. And I tell you, I got some mena cramps one day. I got some. We're getting old. But
Coke.
Peace out.